Hello, everybody. I think I'm gonna have my video on here. Let's see. Hey, there I am. All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, we're gonna be a little bit technically challenged today. Maybe we'll see. I'm not gonna create that as the experience. But I'm lacking my staff. I think they must be having some internet challenges. So can you guys see my screen here? Yes, yes, yes. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So welcome, Nora. Hello, Jeff. Hello, Z. Hello, Rocky. Hello, Rocky. Do you have any idea we have two Rockies in this class? Did anybody know that? Isn't that pretty freaking cool? We've got two Rockies in this class.
Yeah, but his name is cooler than mine because he's like Rocky Piper. That's so cool, Rocky Piper.
Rocky Piper. Rocky Piper. I know his real name and I'll keep it to myself because he's only known as Rocky. Well, welcome, Rocky. Hello, Jeff. I didn't say hello. Hello, Ramondo, Hortensia, Rosalie, Sarah, Karen. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I know some other people will be joining us as you join us, or as they join us, rather. I'd love to hear about your experience over the last 24 hours. Who could share with me about your experience, please? What successes did you have? What challenges did you have? What activity did you do?
Okay, so am I going to read the first one again?
Yes, ma'am. Go for it, Rocky.
Mine's little chaos, but it's kind of been that way. So I'm trying to line out my chaos. And Dan, I'm sure you know that last time I was actually in your class, I got an emergency phone call. It was about my dad. So now we're nursing dad around the clock, and he had the appointment this morning, and then it ended up that I had an appointment this morning. So it was a lot of fun. I mean, you just got to go with it.
Okay. So you have a little bit of personal life, sort of visiting your professional life. Is that what I hear you saying?
Yes, but I have to say that I've grown because I've only been in the business for a few years, well, a couple. I've only been active one, and I'm handling it better now with you, knowing what I learned last time from you. Just what was that, a month ago?
Yeah.
I'm able to, I know I say chaos, but in reality, I'm scheduling the chaos.
Yeah, when you can.
Yeah, and before there was no way I could have even done that. It would have been 100% all dad, all everything. And now I'm able to balance that. And I'm making my sisters. It's like, no, I can't do it alone. There's three of us. Let's go. Come on, put in your portion. And before it was, I was always a self-proclaimed mortar, I guess you would say. And now I'm not so much. It's like, no. This has to be a joint effort. So I think I got that from you.
Thank you for sharing that. And so it's about, so what I hear Rocky sharing with us that I hope that maybe others of us can benefit from is one is about creating partnership in areas of your life to allow for you to be able to do your job. Secondly, and I know somebody I'm looking at right now who's an expert of that as well, which is Zainab Fahim. You can call her Z though. And so Z is a master at that. She's got 3 young children and a needy husband. I'm just teasing. He's and she does a really great job of balancing doing the balancing act between personal life and business life. But to do that, you have to know what to do as a business person. Okay, we're going to dive more deeply into that. So one is to get partnership with other people. The second is to be able to block your time. So block your time for the chaos. So now you can't always do that, right? But I'll give you an example. This afternoon, today's my mother's 76th birthday. And my daughter has a soccer game. So her soccer game's at 4:00. It's in DC, which is about maybe let's call it 45 minutes to an hour from where I'm at with the traffic and all that type of stuff, but probably more likely 30 minutes. And so I'll be leaving work at 3 o'clock and I've got that scheduled. Okay. Now, yesterday at 4 o'clock, I was in Arlington, Virginia. I took a listing. So it's just about scheduling your work. And I'll talk to you more about specifically tomorrow about how to take listings. Day, hello, welcome. I didn't say hi to you before. Let me see who else has joined us. Petya, Sylvia, Rosalie, hello, hello, hello. I think I said hi to everybody. If I didn't say hi to you, you are the most important person on this call today. Okay, tell us about your experience. Who would like to share with us about your experience with the homework over the last 24 hours? Successes, challenges, what you guys have? What do you ladies have?
You know, I really like the way that you came up with that idea of completing the statement. When I choose to, and you know, like who you want to be, what you want to do, and what it is that you will have. I read that book by Dean Graziosi, but I don't remember having like this exercise. And yeah, going 7 levels deep, I mean, that's really, really great. But actually, like having a statement, because you don't want to be doing everything every single day. But when you choose to do something specifically, then you're going to be somebody specific for that action that you want to do. And because you are being a specific way and doing a specific thing, you are choosing. And that was another key. Like, oh my God, that is so powerful. Like who you are or who you're going to be for that one day. What you're going to do, the action you're going to take is that result that you are going to get. But it all starts, and I love that. I love that because you put when I choose, and it's really a choice because we can choose not to make phone calls that one day, not to post something on social media that one day, not to do scripts so that you can go ahead and create the video. That one is a choice. So when we choose to watch Netflix and binge watch somebody else's content on YouTube, you are choosing. You are choosing. So choice, that was really, really powerful. Yes.
Just so we're clear, if the content you're binging has my name associated with it, I highly recommend it. The same. Nora, choosing. I love choosing, and I love being and doing and having and putting in, understand the context of that. For years, I had on my phone. I just pulled this up while you were talking. I was paying attention to you, but you can't see it. It's too bright. But on my phone, this was my screen grabber for years, and it says "be." And I think I share this in the instruction. So it says, "Be loving, take a stand for the greatness of the others, be a servant leader, be approachable, charismatic, engage and attract others, resilient, be willing to succeed, be willing to fail, be authentic. If I'm scared to communicate, do so immediately. Be visible through providing contribution and value to others, and be committed to lifelong learning and teaching." Okay, so once I know who I'm going to be, then I can know what I'm going to choose and what I'm going to do, so that then I'm going to have whatever it is that I have. So for me, if I want to be an agent who lists 7.2 homes a month on average, then it starts with me being resilient. That's a piece of that. I'm willing to succeed. I'm willing to fail. It starts from me being visible through contributing value to others as a real estate agent or as a real estate agent coach, right? But for me to do the 7.2 is about as a real estate agent. It's about me being committed to learning and teaching. You know, I started to teach in probably 2010 was the first time I was officially an instructor, and that was to teach real estate sales principles. Anybody want to guess why I chose to do that? Anybody? It could be simple. See, in fact, one of somebody who's in this class right now attended one of those classes as when she got her license years ago. I did that class because I sucked at contracts. I sucked at the details. The knowledge that I needed, I sucked at. Okay, to be successful at that time as a real estate brokerage owner. So I chose to be committed to lifelong learning and teaching, and specifically about the areas that I needed in my life to succeed, yet I didn't have the skill set. Because when I teach this content, for example, do you know what benefit I get out of this? I get reinforcement on on the actions that I'm taking to make certain that I'm doing those actions. So it's, again, you see how one lays into the first one. So I teach, and as I teach, then that reinforces for me to do, because if I wasn't doing the activity to get the listing appointments, I wouldn't be authentic, which goes back into I am choosing to be authentic. So once you start understanding it all ties together, because the reality of it is what's the promise of this class? To have no broke months. But for you to get to no broke months, it's not just the tactics, because I promise you, you will have struggles. And when you have struggles, I just got off the phone with somebody I'm coaching, a mentee of mine, and she was saying, well, I'm going to just sort of not really worry about doing real estate sales because the market's going to be shifting. And, I've got this other full-time job. I'm just going to focus on that. And I'm like, well, do you think that there's real estate agents who are successful through shifts and don't have full-time jobs? But yes. Okay. Well, what do you think they're doing? Who do you think they're being? What do you think they're focusing on? So those are the types of things. So thank you, Nora, for sharing. Who'd like to share next? We got time for one more share. Share with us about about your experience, if you could, over the last 24 hours of doing the homework, the assignment. Hello, F. Sheen and Todd. Todd, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll
Just
go
saying
ahead
hi
and
to you.
speak up. So
All
I
right.
think drilling down to your question, what's important, what's important, what's important. So you kind of drill down to really find like what the true meaning is until it hits you. What's important about that? What's important about that? Rather than just having some big audacious goal out there with no true meaning. It's just a number to hit, as an example. But why is that number important? And then drill that down.
Yeah, what's important about that number is a
Yeah.
better perspective. So when you're asking why questions, the why is about what's motivating you, from a result, and what's important to you about that. Because if you ask why is that important, it could be a little bit conflicting. Okay, so you're getting to the why through asking what questions. Because we don't want to when somebody says, why are you doing that? It's the only way to respond to that is with a little bit of resistance. So Todd, what I hear you saying is having a compass of why am I doing this, which comes from, asking yourself what's important to me about that, will allow for you to now be in a place where it's real.
Yeah. And I think, most people talk about, they say, know your why, and you put down one answer and that's it, in a lot of these things, and you never dig down deeper into it.
Yeah.
Like you said yesterday, why? So your daughter can go to a good school. Why? So you can become a good father. Why? And ultimately it's not just the main sentence, because you've got to figure out what about that initial statement is important, right?
Yeah.
What are the fine, intricate details about it that really want to get you to that point?
Yeah. So for me, what I recommend you to do is to do two whys. One I call the little why and one I call the big why. The big why will get you through the hard times as long as it's real. Okay. But the little why is what you can focus on today to be able to say, okay, for real, this is why I'm doing this, right? Because the big why is going to be something along the lines of, for me, my big why is to be able to help people to achieve whatever it is that they desire. And I do so through my writing, through my coaching, and through my mentorship. All right. So I have a very clear understanding of not only what the big why is, but I also have a clear understanding on how I'm going to achieve that, at least from broad brushstrokes, right? And, mentoring and teaching and writing. Well, there's a lot, there's a lot there that you can, sort of pull apart, right? But I'm giving you the broad brushstrokes. So that right there empowers me through time. Because at some point, for example, when I taught this class a year ago, my little why was to complete the pool project that is costing me the same amount of money as a small condominium to be able to do for my daughter. Okay, well, literally they're out there right now laying the last of the boulders. Okay, and so that's done. It's been paid off, right? And so now it's about sending my daughter to private school. And my next little why is probably going to be to buy the top series Tesla. I was thinking the X series, and to pay cash for that, right? Like that's good. That's going to be my next little why. I'm not ready to reset into that, right? But I bet if you come to this class, 2 or 3 classes from now, that's what I'm going to say. Here's my little why. Daughter school's good, right? Like that doesn't have to be what's driving me today. Once upon a time, my little why was I'm bursting at the freaking seams in this townhome, and I'm renting it out to a guy that I really didn't like. Shouldn't say that publicly, but I didn't, right? And now I had an infant daughter. I'm like, man, I got to get the heck out of this environment. And my little why at that time in my life was just that. So it's good. So it's going to evolve. Your big why is going to be more likely to sort of stay, stagnant, but it doesn't have to. Okay, because my big why now has been there for many, many years, yet that hasn't always been my big why. All right, thank you for everybody who shared. And I want to start off today's conversation with asking you, and I want you to take a moment to answer these questions to yourself. And I'm going to read through them slowly so you have time to just sort of reflect. What are you grateful for today? And as Americans, I think everybody here, at least that's a part of the class, lives in America. They're 100%, you've got something right there that you can be grateful for, because I've got people who I work with who I sent one of the people who I really care for deeply. I sent her for a birthday gift, a thing of towels, brand new towels. And just thought it was just, like not a big deal or anything. And she cried when she lives in a different country. And she cried when she received this. And she's a grown woman in her mid 30s or later 30s. And she's like, I'm like, are you okay? She's like, Dan, I've never in my life have I had nice towels. A complete, like, I had no, like I wasn't expecting that. And so that's an example of something you can be grateful for, as little as having nice towels, right? Like literally you have stuff that many people in the world, even if you are poor by American standards, you have stuff to be grateful for. Who will I help today? That could be a friend, that could be a family member, that could be yourself. That could be somebody, one of your clients. How will I have the best day of my life today? So actually choose, we go back into making this stuff actionable. Well, when you actually choose how to have the best day of your life, you will more likely have the best day of your life. But we're just going to ask you to ask the questions. Because when you ask the questions, you already know, you already possess, you already have the knowledge within yourself of what you need to do or what you could do or what you have an opportunity to do today so that you have the very best day of your life. You already have that within you. How will I make good choices today? You know where I came up with that question? All right. I came up with that question with 3 or 4-year-old Maggie, my daughter. And there was a day when she was not quite a toddler, a little bit older than a toddler, but still a young child. And I said, someday she's going to be 16. And she's a beautiful person physically. She's beautiful inside. And I sat there and I said, Well, when she's 16, I'm not going to have a lot of influence in our relationship because her peers are going to be influencing her more than I will be. What could I do today so that I could teach her so that when she's 16, I don't have to be there when I can't be. I mean, I could be, but she's not, when she's 16 or 17, it's a little bit, she wants to be, she's good. That's the time in her life that she'll be reaching her independence or, starting to approach it. So every morning I would ask her these questions, everything except for the last question. I wouldn't ask her where she's getting her next listing, right? But I would ask her, hey, sweetie, how are you going to make good choices today? Because I was training and developing her to make good choices, not for 4 or 5-year-old Maggie, but for 15 and 16-year-old Maggie. And today she's 11 years old, and she is, a great kid. And I still today, I say, hey, sweetie, I support you, whatever you do, as long as you acknowledge that you're making choices. And as you make those choices, you understand that the outcomes are going to be the outcomes. You make good choices, you have good outcomes. You make bad choices, you have bad outcomes. Now, as I started coaching, I realized that we as adults are really not that different than children, right? That's nothing critical. It's just reality. And our inner childs lead us. And so that's why when you ask yourself how you're going to make good choices today, again, you'll set yourself up to make better choices. Is it a good choice to binge watch Netflix at 10 a.m.? Maybe. Is it a good choice to lead generate at 10 a.m.? Maybe. But we know if you want to be successful in real estate sales, there's 5 things. CPI time, I told you yesterday, we'll dive deeper into that. Lead generate, convert the leads for appointment, attend appointments to get hired, negotiate, and script and role play. That's your job description. So now, will I have greater success when I do that job description or when I watch Netflix or goof around on Facebook? Or even just doing things that are worthy in your business, such as designing a website? Which of those will generate me greater results? Which is why we went to the why exercise yesterday, because when you get to that crossroads, I'm going to ask you to look at that little sticky note on your computer and then make a choice. It's that simple. And then finally, where will I get my next listing from today? So I'm asking you right now to ask yourself, where will I get my next listing from today? I want you to ask yourself that question right now. And I invite for somebody to share your answer with us. Where will you get your next listing from today? Where's that next listing coming from?
Well, hopefully, I'm going door knocking in about 30 minutes
Okay.
with my sponsors. So hopefully that's where my next listing is.
Okay. May I help you through that a little bit?
Yes.
Do you always need to have confidence in the result when you don't know what the result will be? Like, can you have, I didn't ask that well. Can you have confidence that something will happen even if you don't know how?
Yes.
Has there been a time in your life that that's occurred? Where it's like, I know this is going to happen, but you didn't quite know exactly how.
Yes.
Would you be willing to share that with us? Can you think of something right now?
I've had a couple.
Just one. Just share the first thing that comes to your mind, please.
I guess the most recent one was when my daughter left to college. When she applied to college, she got denied to her first one, but I knew she was gonna go. I just didn't know what college, but I knew she was going.
Today, what's your daughter's name?
Melanie.
When Melanie was applying for college and you have 100% faith, like, I don't know how, but I know it's happening. Could you today, when you go door knocking, have 100% faith that, I don't know how, but either the actions that I'm taking today or tomorrow or the next day is going to generate a result that will be a positive result. I don't know how, but I know it's going to happen. And I know that I'm going to give myself permission to figure it out.
Mhm.
Could you approach that in that manner, the same manner as you did with Melanie?
Yes.
Okay. So share with me again to answer that question. Where will you get your next listing from today?
I'm not sure, but I'm gonna get one.
Okay. It's a little bit different than hopefully, because that's where we started.
Yeah.
Hopefully I'm going to get a listing today. Hopefully I'll figure it out. Right. So there's zero faith in that, sort of disclaimer of hopefully. But I'm not sure how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to figure it out. Now there's certainty in that. Which of those two approaches do you think you'll be more successful at finding a listing?
The second one.
Mhm. I'm going to figure it out. Because I can tell you with 100% faith that I will find 8 listings this month. I don't know how. I have no freaking clue. No idea. Like, I have no idea where my next listing's coming from. None. But I know I'll take one in less than 7 days from now. I will promise you in the next 7 days, I'll take another listing besides the one that I'm signing up from yesterday. Right? Like, you hear like the conviction and the faith, and now I just got to find it. All right. Is that useful, Sylvia?
Yes.
All right, awesome. All right, cool. All right, so hopefully we all took something out of that. So who will you choose to be? So it's great that Nora had mentioned that to sort of parlay us into this, right? So who will you choose to be? And just as I demonstrated to you in your homework from yesterday, it was about defining who you're going to choose to be, because that's the foundation for you to have success. So here, I actually read that from my phone, but that's what I read from my phone earlier today. And it looks like I forgot that I wrote it into the slide, or otherwise I could have just waited, right? But that's the same thing right there that I read to you from my phone. What will you choose to do? So now that you define what you're going to or who you're going to choose to be, now what are you going to do? Okay, so really, there's only 2 things that cause agents to not succeed. Number 1 is you're working on the wrong strategy, or number 2, you don't believe in yourself. When you have faith that I'm going to figure this out, and I don't necessarily know how, but I'm going to figure this out. Now, the tactics that we're going through this week are hacks to figure out how, and ways that you could implement to figure out how. Well, really, as long as you're working on the right strategy, and that strategy is something that resonates with you, and as long as you believe in yourself, and then you do the activity of that strategy, you'll have success. Okay, so for example, if my strategy is open houses, I'm going to do 4 open houses every single weekend. Why 4? Because that's my job. That's my strategy. I'll do 2 noon to 12 on Saturday, 3 to 5 on Saturday, do the same thing on Sunday. I'll put 8 hours of work in. I'll get a minimum of 5 people to every single one of those open houses, of which half will have agents, which means that every weekend I'll meet at least 10 new buyers. And if I only close one of them, then I just earned myself $10,000 for the work that I did over 16 hours. Let's get real on this. Let's actually look at the numbers. When you can relate to say, I'm going to make $10,000 this week from doing 16 hours of work to hosting open houses. Again, I'm being pessimistic in all my numbers. I'm being pessimistic on how many people are going to show up. I'm being pessimistic on how much money you might make. I'm being pessimistic on how many you'll convert. I'm being pessimistic. But I promise you, if you put into your work schedule that on Saturday, Sunday, I'm doing open houses, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'm following up with those people, and I'm taking off Friday. And Thursday is going to be a swing day. I maybe take half of Thursday off. Boom. I just made 10 grand this week. You can do that every single week. Every single week. So here's what I choose to do. I'm not going to go through this too much, right? But shamelessly promote. As a real estate agent, I shamelessly promote. Okay. I promote my services to others because I do so in the manner that I know that they deserve to work with somebody like me. They deserve to not work with that hack agent that's desperate for that hack agent to pay their bills. Now, you see, like, my passion gets into this and I start using words like hack agent. I got to sort of clean that up a little bit. All right. I apologize. Right. But that's my inner voice right there. And you can hear that confidence of my passion of they freaking deserve to have somebody like me as their agent. Does it have to be me? Candidly, no. As long as they have somebody that's going to care and be able to know how to guide them and to be expertly guide them, hey, I'm good. Now, in a head-to-head competition with myself, I'm going to compete to win 100% of the time. But at the end of the day, if they hire another one of me, I'm good because they're getting what they choose. And these are some of the things, these are the ways of being that I'm going to encourage for you to maybe consider. And then cherishing my family, taking time off, focusing my energy, intentionally creating great relationships and pouring into a small team of people so that they pour into a small team of people. Guess what? That's how I'm choosing to make a difference in the world. I'm not going to teach 3.5 billion people. My name won't be Elon Musk or whatever name you want to throw out there that is known across the planet. I will impact the planet through a small group of people. And that's what I'm choosing to do. And here's some other things that I'm choosing to do as well, right? And so when you do that, now we're going to talk about, okay, what are you going to choose to do? So in your teaching, in the training that you're going to get today, you're going to get options for 3 tactics. They are the for sale by owner, the easy way, the Facebook lead generator, the CPI open house, and then we're going to sprinkle a little sauce on top of that, which is video conversation. So we're going to talk about these today. So if you don't know which tactic to use, then I'm going to ask for you to take a look at these options. So if you're ready to take a I confused my words there. If you're ready to take a listing and you're willing to take a listing today, ASAP, doing it the easy way, then I'm going to suggest the for sale by owner tactic, and you will not have to cold call using that tactic. If you're willing to invest a small amount of money, $200 per closing, and if you want to call internet leads, then use tactic number 2, the Facebook lead generator. If you say, I hate calling internet leads, do not use that tactic. Okay, like it's that simple. I am not telling you to do anything you hate. Do which one you love. If you enjoy quality relationships and you draw people to you because you're a relationship-based person, then consider doing number 3, which is the CPI open house. Someone asked yesterday, would you want to do all 3 in 1 week? No. Do one tactic, and then if you want to do a second or a third, you can still have access to the portal. You can come back and you can go through those trainings as well. So you're going to have access in the portal to do one of the 3 tactics. So it's going to be 1, 2, or 3. Choose which one of those 3 it is, and then that's what you're going to do. So the reason why these are the 3 tactics is to be the best of my ability. I went through the 17 options of how can you get business. And within those 17 options, there's a bunch of subsections. And I said, okay, if these are 17 ways that I could teach how to get business today, which of them are going to be most effective? Which are they going to be most likely to get business immediately? Then, based off of what I had left on that list, which accommodate 3 different types of people? Okay, which accommodates that person who's assertive? What accommodates that person who's relationship-based? What accommodates that person who's fearless? Okay, what doesn't accommodate the person who has fear. And what I came up with was these 3 tactics that will hopefully one of those resonates with you. So, for sale by owner. So your daily mission, step 1. So we're going to talk about these 3 tactics for the for sale by owner. So in your portal, step 1 for your mission is going to be to go ahead and find the name, the address, and the phone numbers of 7 for sale by owners. You could invest into the leads. This is the easiest way by using systems such as My Plus Leads. I find have the best data. You could also find the free resources such as Zillow, Military by Owner, Houseo, Fizbo, Fizzer, Trulia for sale by owner, and Craigslist. You can find the free information about them from there, but if you don't have a virtual assistant yet, oh, by the way, I do own a company called CPIVA, so if you want a virtual assistant, ask me about that. Happy to show you how. But if you don't have a CPI virtual assistant yet, then you could go to cheaplistingtools.com to access all the tools, and there's a coupon, like a benefit for signing up for My Plus Leads, Red X, for those companies. You'll get a discount when you sign up. You'll get the because there's basically it's like I put together packages with those companies to say, if I get a lot of people to sign up for you, will you give them a little bit of a break? They said yes, and that's where you'll get access to that, is cheaplistingtools.com. Okay, so you guys ready for my for sale by owner class? Hold on, let me change my view here. It's a little bit hard for me to navigate this. There we go. I want to see you guys. Let me stop sharing. I think I can see everybody. Okay, so now you can see me, but you can't see my screen anymore. So, you ready for my for sale by owner class? If I told you that I wanted to introduce you to somebody today who's already raised their hand and said, I want to sell, but they've not hired an agent, would you want to meet them? All right, that's the end of the for sale by owner class. That's it, right? That's the FISBO class. That's who I just described. I just described to you for sale by owner. Now, as real estate agents, for many of us, we're like, FISBOs, they want to eat their young. Like, I want nothing to do with that. Yet, when you approach it in a manner that you remove those obstacles, and instead of going for the listing, you go for the relationship. So here's the way that we approach the for sale by owners. First step is you get the appointment by sending a sequences of text, not emails, not phone calls. First text, and this is all outlined in the portal, right? So if you don't catch all this, you can go in the portal and get it there. First step is you send them a text, something like, hey, Zainab, it's Dan Roshan. Are you still selling 123 Main Street? Z says yes. Fantastic. If I were to bring you in a buyer, would you pay an X% compensation, or would you pay an X% finder's fee, not X% commission? If I were to bring you in a buyer, would you pay X% compensation? She says yes, or she counters, or whatever she says. Fantastic. When can I take a look at the property? Tomorrow at 3, or the other day, or the day after at 4? What works best for you? Give them an alternate close. So now that's the framework. Now reality is you're going to get all this stuff coming back at you. You're going to be like, well, what do I say here? What do I say here? What do I say here? Go back to that framework and just simply take that, the skeleton of what I just taught you, and framework it around whatever they're saying. Okay, so they're not gonna, like, nobody. Sometimes will happen where those words just sort of flow in, but more likely they're gonna say something that's gonna throw you off, like, "Do you have a buyer?" So then, if they say, like, if you say, "Are you still selling 123 Main Street?" and they say, "Do you have a buyer?" then you can reply back, "Well, I don't know. I've got a couple of buyers that may be interested. I'm curious, if I were to bring one of them in, would you pay X% finder's fee?" You stay with the script. Let's say they say that to you when you say, "If I brought in a buyer, would you pay X% compensation?" And they say, "Well, do you have a buyer?" Say, "Well, I'm not sure if my buyer would be interested. Can I take a look at the house on Thursday or on Friday? Alternate close. Okay, so you just sort of, to the best of your ability, stick with those scripts. Now, here's how you get hired. So that's how you get the appointment. Here's how you get hired. When you meet with them, instead of soliciting the listing, you solicit the relationship. Now, here's how you do that. You go into the property, you sort of talk to them, whatever, you ask them qualifying questions. What caused you to want to sell? I'm curious, how did you come up with the price, etc. At some point, what you're going to do is you're going to say, Mr. Seller, I took the time to put together a help kit for you to help you to sell this on your own and not hire an agent. And this help kit was written by me to walk you through every single step along the journey. What would cause me to share this information with you when I'm a professional real estate agent and I make my money off of serving great people like you? Because I know that many people in your situation will choose to hire an agent. And if you choose to hire an agent, I only ask that you allow for me to apply for the job. Does that seem like a fair exchange, Mr. Seller? Yes, yes. Now you leave that appointment and you then follow up with them by providing them value. What are the types of things that you can provide value with them? You can put on an auto search on your MLS so that you can see all the homes that are going on. Don't send it to them, send it to yourself, and you see when a neighbor's listed. And now, hey, Mr. Seller, I wanted to make sure you saw 123 Main Street just got listed, just went under contract, just went to closing. Oh, by the way, how are things going with you? And now you start cultivating a relationship. If you have resources, if you go to greetingsvirginia.com, Les is here with me now. So not yet, Les. If you go to greetingsvirginia.com/something FSBO, that's what I'm looking for. And if you could put that in there, it will be they will have a chance to be able to see the blogs that I will then text them. So what I did was I put together a bunch of blogs of, here is how you can market your property on Facebook. Here is how you can get the most amount of people in your open house and the questions to ask them. Here's a list of vendors. And I put together a series of around 7 blogs on my real estate website. We'll find that and share that here with you in a second. And when I just simply take the URL and I send it to them and say, oh, hey, I'm just curious, are you doing an open house this weekend? Here's a guide that you could use to be able to do so. Send that to them on a Thursday. On a Monday, you follow up with them. Hey, how'd it go? And now you make your money by converting them through that way. Now, what's your rate of return on this? It's going to be somewhere between 1 to 5 to 1 to 7 appointments. When I first started teaching this, I always taught 1 to 5. When the pandemic started, and it was like easy as can be to be able to sell someone's house, we went to 1 out of 7. Because what we knew was that more people would have selling without us. And now it's going to be going back to 1 to 5. So what that means is for every 5 people who you meet, 1 will list with you when you follow this recipe I'm giving you. If you want to list 50 homes a year and you want to use one strategy, this is the strategy to use. Last year, I listed and sold 12. It's not my one strategy. By using this one tactic, my numbers were about 1 to 8 last year, not 1 to 7. And I did not personally do the conversion. I didn't personally go to the appointments. A newer agent, somebody who was brand new, joined my teams like, Dan, how do I get business? How do I do listings like you? It's like, all right, well, I'll coach you through this. Her numbers it was actually 1 out of 7.6 last year that she listed. Okay, so she would go on 7.6 appointments and list 1. She didn't have a high skill set. Okay, not being critical, just being objective. That's just the facts. So if you want to list 50, this is the way that you could do it. Now, I'm getting confused. Les already put into the chat there. If you want to get a copy of the For Sale by Owner Help Kit that I just shared with you, then click that link that that Les just shared with us, and you can get access to be able to get that kit. So let me go back to sharing my screen if I could. And that is the for sale by owner, the easy way. Now, when you go into the your portal, it's going to go through that a little bit more extensively. Well, can I do? There we go. All right. So next one is, hold on one second. Let me share my screen, but I got to do something else. And let me show people that have implemented these.
Chose to do the text to FISBOs. I got some negativity from it, which is fine. Some of them are listing or already listed, but positivity, I did get an appointment for Friday. So I have a listing appointment for Friday. I am meeting with one of my for sale by owners. So I'm excited about that.
Fantastic. So that's Fran.
Chose to do
We don't
the
need to listen to Fran
text to
again.
FISBO.
Sorry for that. Hold on. I think I need to pop in and out here. I'm learning things. I'm learning how to navigate this. Let's see if this go to the next screen.
I got
All right, hang tight, guys. Hang tight. Hang tight. Leslie has job security. That's why she's just demonstrating to me how much I need her. But I already knew that. Let's do this instead. All right. So Facebook lead generator. Let me share my screen. Oh, I am sharing my screen. Do you want to continue? No. We want to make this big. All right. Facebook lead generator. Sorry for my clunkiness today. Tomorrow will be fantastic. So here's a fundamental way to be able to do the Facebook lead generator. Number one is create a Facebook post that's going to showcase a home for sale. You're going to post this on your page. You use visually attractive photographs, and you're going to target people who will be most likely to buy the property. And then you're going to post the ad for the home. And then as you post the ad for the home, it's going to collect the data, and you're then going to call the people. This strategy, so when I say 1 to 5 to 7 of face-to-faces with the for sale by owners, you get a listing. This strategy, 1 out of 100, you'll get somebody who will hire you to go to closing in 90 days or less. 4 out of 100 will be able to hire you within the next 18 months. Now, how do you follow up with those 4 out of 100? The way that I do, I got frustrated with the CRMs that were available online. I got frustrated with the fact that nothing here understands real estate sales. I took 4 years of development to be able to put together a CRM that's developed by me that will show you every single step that you have to do in this entire, A to Z of getting the leads, getting the clients, following up with them. What do you say? When do you say it? How do you convert them? What do you do to prevent predictable problems in the future? How do you set yourself up to get the closing? And what do you say? And I took 4 years to put that all into a CRM. That's called the CPI CRM. If you're interested in learning more about that, you could go to nobrokemonths.com and go to the VIP section there. So we use that CRM to be able to post these ads to them. We get the 1 out of 100 a day. We use the CRM to follow up with them. Then it gives us the 4 out of 100 in the next 18 months. $200 is the investment to get that one closing today. And it's the same investment that for the marketing expense that you'll get the other ones. I want to tell you about Jackie. Jackie came to me, and when she came to me, she had no routine. Okay. She had little sales, and she was really looking for something different in her business. She had a decent business. She did around, 4.5 million, but she wanted more. She met with me. We came up with a plan together. Her plan was, for example, in this case, was the Facebook lead generator. And we were able to then transition her business from broke months to no broke months. And increase her sales volume by 11.5 million to a total of 16 million along the way. Why should you consider the open house strategy? Because it's the most cost-effective way to get new business. If I was new to the business today, this is what I would do. It's one of the things that I would do. One of these three things is what I would do. So your daily mission for the open house, unless if you're sharing your screen, we're at the 2 screens from there, is to be able to contact the top 3 listing agents in your office, ask them, I'm sorry, I'm off base here. So that is what you're going to do for the Facebook lead generator. So for the Facebook lead generator, the tactics what you need to do is outlined to you in the CPI portal. For the open house strategy, if you are the person that people love, this would be what I would do. And to do this, step 1 is to find the top listing agents in your office, and then offer to be able to host that for them. Will they want you to host their open houses? Yes. In fact, if you're in Virginia, you want to host any of my open houses, or Maryland, please, and you'd have to be with my brokerage, but please contact me. And I would love the opportunity to be able to help you. And so, so that is the open house slide. Can we go to the next slide, Les? This is Mary. Mary had the same results, the same challenges. And so with Mary, her whole thing was that she also had that inconsistency. Mary attended the 5 days. After she attended the 5 days, she discovered her way, which was open houses. She then took the 3-day boot camp, and she now has no broke months after she hired me, after she took the 3-day boot camp. So I want you to imagine how you could have the freedom that Mary has today, how you could have the freedom that Jackie has today, that you can have that as well, and how you can be able to follow the strategies that I told you with some of the successes with Doug and Barbara from yesterday. Now, let's talk about putting the secret sauce on top of this. So to be able to put the secret sauce on top of this, the secret sauce is video. So I'm going to finish today's lesson by teaching you how to use video. So what I want you to do is I want you to go onto your Facebook today. I want you to take a look at your Facebook and see your top person who posts on there, the first one that comes up in your feed. And then what I want you to do is I want you to send them a video from your phone, less than 10 seconds, and just mention something that you just saw on their feed. If it's, I had a new baby, we had a team member had a new baby yesterday. I am going to send her a video. Pow, hey, congratulations. Okay. Of course, I've already reached out to her. I haven't sent her a video yet, though. So I'm going to do that right after this class, right? Thank you for reminding me. I appreciate you guys. Right. I'm not going to ask for business. She actually works with us, so I wouldn't ask her for business anyways, right? But the videos you're going to send, don't ask for business. Instead, check in on them and just simply say hello and care for them. Do nothing else. Your job today is to send 10 of those video texts. Tomorrow, I want to hear your results from that. I want you to just simply, you can either do it on Facebook or you could do it via text. Okay, so when you do that, then I promise you the results that you'll get will be phenomenal. You will be surprised. Do not ask for business. Just care for them. In the background, they already know that you're a real estate agent. So send 10 video texts to someone via your seller, your Facebook. When you send a message, do not ask for business. Instead, be genuine and authentic. And that's what I'm going to be asking for you to do today. So here's some talking points that you could be able to go through. So talking points is, hey, I was just thinking about you. You can comment on our latest Facebook post. You can express gratitude. You know, we talked about gratitude earlier today. You can recognize them. And I want to share with you. Here's the daily video text that you can be able to share. So how's your family? How is your trip? How is your vacation? How is your weekend? Those are some ways that Post it on their wall or PM them, DM them. Yeah, direct private message or direct message them. Don't post it on their wall, directly to them. It's a video message to them. It only works on Facebook on your phone. It doesn't work on the computer. That for whatever reason, I don't let you do it on the computer, but on your phone, the function is there to send them that video. Make it 10 seconds or less. Just a, hey, how can I help you type text? The results of this are going to be listings. I want to share with you, Colin, what results that Colin had. We can't hear that, Les. I can share it on my end.
Continue sending out the video. Continue sending out the video text messages, and got a call from a past client who said, you know, it's funny, I've been thinking about you. We think we want to sell our house. Can you come by and take a look?
Well, that's a good result. Let me share with you another student.
Out the
I made about 12 videos and sent them out via Facebook Messenger. I had a few responses. Thank you. That's exactly what I needed to hear in this moment. And then from that, they brought up real estate. I didn't bring up real estate. So that keeps my name on top of mind for them. So it was a win-win. It's going to be nothing but good. I mean, I'm blessing someone by giving them a positive word, and we're building relationship.
Building relationship and having business results. Blessing them and having business results. For me, I want to summarize today about what I choose to have. And by the way, most of this is not in business. I choose to have health, sobriety, the top real estate coaching to help the most amount of agents to discover your way to have no broke months. I choose to have choice. That's a little bit redundant. Choose to have choice. I just realized that. I choose to have awesome relationships, and I choose to have a system and people to help in all areas of life. So thank you, everybody, for joining me today. I appreciate your time. And if you do have any challenges, I know we got 2 emails yesterday, and hopefully we responded to that. If you didn't get your messages, your needs answered, then please send another message. And I'll make sure that happens today, that you get any support that you need. Otherwise, do the homework, show up tomorrow. Does anybody recognize that not everybody showed up today? Does anybody recognize that? Well, that's perfectly not normal. I get that. That's fine. I want every one of you here tomorrow to be here, because I promise you this is going to be worth your time. Tomorrow, I'm going to show you how I get hired 85% of the time and the steps that I take before I go to the listing, so I can go there with 100% confidence I'm going to get hired today. It's just my choice of whether I want to take this listing or not. And I'm going to show you how I do that tomorrow. All right. Until tomorrow, have the best day of your life. Make good choices. Be grateful and help somebody today. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Thank you.
You're welcome.